So we just had our first ever WrestlePalooza, right? And was it any good? Let's talk about it. So first off, we had our typical, superstars entering the arena and shit. The usual shit you get on every single Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown, and so that took up a lot of time, like 10 to 15 minutes of the initial show. And not only did they show each and every like superstar entering the arena, there was like a special video package for WrestlePalooza itself, because they're trying to market it like kind of like the poor man's WrestleMania or a SummerSlam or something like that. But anyway, you had that, and then you had Triple H himself inside the ring, welcoming everybody and talking about WrestlePalooza, I guess something like that. Anyway, so that, and then you had the return of Pat McAfee. He had his own entrance and shit. So all of this like took up like 10 to 15 minutes of the show, but I don't mind it because I think it works well for a PLE or pay-per-view or PLE, yeah. So I think it works well for a PLE. I think it sucks when you do it for each and every single episode of Raw and SmackDown, because nobody wants to sit there and just watch people entering the arena for 10 to 15 minutes of the show. But it works well for PLEs because it just kind of gives you that big, show feeling. It gives you that special feeling when you have all that. So I think it works well. I don't mind that. And I think by the time we had our first match or something, it was like 12 to 15 minutes or something like that. But yeah, first thing was Brock Lesnar's music. Damn, man, I don't care who you are, where you are, or what you're doing. When you hear Brock Lesnar's music hit, you know that shit is going down, bro. We had Brock Lesnar versus John Cena as the opener for the show, which was kind of weird. I thought it was going to be the main event. It could have been the main event. It had the potential. Like, you have two of the biggest superstars in WWE, in wrestling, in fact. Why did you not have that in the main event? I think there was even a rumor going around that it was gonna be the main event of the show, but anyway, it ended up being the opener. And but yeah, John Cena's entrance, dude, that was good. That was really great. You had these kids coming out along with him, and he was in all yellow for this show. It was great. I think they should do this for the rest of his appearances. He only has 5 appearances after this one, so I think he should have a special entrance like this for each and every one of his appearances. It just makes it feel special. But yeah, as per the match itself, well, I think this is probably the worst John Cena versus Brock Lesnar match I have ever seen. It was ass, dude. Nothing really happened in the match. You had your typical Brock Lesnar dominates his opponent from the beginning of the match. John Cena tried to have like a couple of comebacks here and there, but obviously it didn't work. And at one point, John Cena hit like 3 AAs on Brock Lesnar's AAs, and Brock Lesnar just kept getting back up like it was nothing and taking the next one. It was just comical at that point. I couldn't take the match seriously at all. And Brock Lesnar later, he got like a few suplexes in there, and then I think he hit 5 F5s or something, and then pinned John Cena. So that's it. I don't know what to make of that, really. Why did John Cena have to lose this match? He only has a handful of appearances left, and he lost to Brock Lesnar. What was the whole point of this? I think they were trying to protect Brock Lesnar because he just returned, and maybe they're thinking, John Cena's going to go away after the end of this year, but Brock Lesnar might have a run now, or like a final run or something. He should get a win. He just came back or something. But if that was your intention, why have him go up against John Cena? He could have faced literally anybody else and won the match. And if you were going to have John Cena lose in his last run, why not have it, against someone like an up-and-comer, like a Braun Breaker or someone like that, who could have benefited from the credibility of winning that match? So I think it sucked that Brock Lesnar won the match, and there was nothing really after that. Brock won. Oh yeah, there was this post-match beatdown. He beat down the referee for some reason, and then he gave another F5 to John Cena. Does this mean that we're not done with John Cena versus Brock? Because trust me, I really don't want to see this again. Come on, man. John Cena only has 5 appearances left, dude. I don't want to see another Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. He can have quality matches against so many other people like AJ Styles, dude. I even want to see him face Chad Gable. I know Chad Gable's like injured right now. He's not there, but you know, you get my point, right? I want to see him have matches like that, but I really hope WWE does not drag this further. I hope we're done with this. This match sucked, and there's nothing you can do about it, but I hope that they don't prolong this. But yeah, I don't know what really to say much else about that match. Let's move on. What was the second match? Oh yeah, we had the Usos versus Airbnb. So Bronson and Braun. So we had LA Knight as the special guest referee for the match, and it was just announced on the show. Like it was like a segment that they filmed like earlier on the show, and that was pretty weird. Why didn't if that's what they wanted to do, why didn't they announce this on like the go home episode of Raw or SmackDown or something like that? This makes me feel that this was a last minute decision. They just came up with the last minute to like they thought, what can we do to make this kind of interesting? Oh yeah, let's put LA Knight in there as the special guest referee. So I think it was great, given the history between LA and Jay and LA and B&B. It was a great decision to have him as the special guest referee. It was really interesting on paper, but the match itself, it was kind of weird because LA Knight really didn't do much in the match at all, apart from just letting them, by them I mean with the Usos and B&B, just do whatever the fuck they want. This match kind of just turned into a no-hold-bars match. That's it. Like, initially he didn't let Braun Breaker or Bronson Reed use a steel chair, but then later he let Jimmy use the steel chair, and then when Braun used the steel chair, he didn't say any, he didn't like interfere or anything. He just like let them go, let him do whatever they wanted to do, and I don't get the point of that. There was a funny ass spot in this match, dude. Braun Breaker tries to stop. Jimmy's trying to like tag in Jey Uso, and Braun runs in to stop that, and he trips on Jimmy, and it's like so hilarious, dude. It's like watching a cartoon. You guys gotta check it out, okay? Just go check out that one spot in the match. It is funny as hell, dude. But yeah, I was just actually watching that spot right now. That spot was fucking funny, and but yeah, apart from that, like I said, nothing much really happens apart from the fact that this normal tag team match just turns into a no holds bar or no disqualification match, and LA Knight doesn't really even get his hands on anybody. He's actually not siding with anybody in this match either, so Braun Breaker hits like a double spear onto Jimmy and Jay onto a table, and then Bronson Reed hits a tsunami and they win the match. So that's it. And even post-match, there's nothing. Bronson Reed wants LA Knight to have him lift his hand, but he doesn't do that. He goes away. But Paul Heyman lifts their hands, and that's it. So I don't understand what we really achieved from this. I think it was a good decision to have B&B. I think it was a good decision to have B&B win the match. I think they needed that win. If they want to keep going with this faction or even with this tag team, because at this point it's just B&B is like one tag team, and then you have Seth and Becky doing their own thing. So if you want to take B&B seriously, they needed to win this match, which they did. I think that was good for them. But apart from that, this match was, again, nothing really just happens. Even though they had LA Knight as the special guest referee, they could have done a lot with that, but they didn't. And yeah, that was the match. So what did we have after this? Let me just have a look here. What we didn't have else to this? Oh yeah, we had Stephanie Vaquer versus Io Sky for the Women's World Championship, and this match was great. This match was fucking awesome. I mean, these two are some of the best women's wrestlers they have on the roster, right? Obviously, they were gonna have a fantastic match. That's what they did. Dude, those two, I think 2 or 3 times, I think a couple of times, Stephanie Vaquer did like a dragon screw. That looked fucking brutal, dude. That, oh man, just looking at that made my knee hurt, dude. I don't know how Io Sky took that. But anyway, it was a great match, and there were no shenanigans, actually. I thought there was something they could have done with Asuka and who's the other one? I forgot the other one's name. But yeah, there was nothing. This was just a plain good match, actually, and Stephanie Vaquer picks up the win, and she's now the new champion. So yeah, good for her, actually. I think she deserves it. She's really good with what she does in the ring. I think if she keeps learning English, she can probably have some good promos and probably be one of the best women's wrestlers on the roster. But yeah, that's about it. That's what the match was, and that was good. So yeah, after this we had the mixed tag team match. Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch versus CM Punk and AJ Lee. This was actually surprisingly pretty good as well. I mean, look at the names you have there. You have Seth Rollins, you have Becky Lynch, you have CM Punk, you have AJ Lee. These are some of the best wrestlers that we've had over the past like decade and a half. Obviously, they were going to pull off a good match. So it was decent, and AJ Lee can still go. And yeah, I don't really know what else to say about this match because I don't know. This was a good match, and CM Punk and AJ Lee won the match. I think that's what everybody predicted anyway. It was decent. I don't really know what to say. I think we're gonna have maybe AJ Lee go up against Becky for the Intercontinental Championship now. And as per CM Punk and Seth Rollins, are they gonna, keep on feuding? I guess, yeah, because they've had two proper matches, right? They had the match at the beginning of the year with CM Punk won, and then you had Seth Rollins win the steel cage match against CM Punk, and there was no third match. You had Seth Rollins cash in the Money in the Bank on CM Punk. I don't know if you can count that as a proper match. I don't want to count that as a proper match. So I think they're going to go for a final, like, one-time match with Seth and CM Punk for the championship, like a proper match. So yeah, I think this match just helps to set up that, those two matches for both of them. That's about it. So that was the match, and I don't really have nothing much else to say about it, really. It was good. It wasn't bad. It was okay. It wasn't fantastic or anything. It wasn't bad. It was decent. So yeah. So I think that's it. That's what 4 matches done right there, and then we had the Undertaker make his entrance. That was, again, out of nowhere. He did his American Badass entrance, which I actually have never seen live. I mean, I've seen it before, but what I'm trying to say is I haven't seen him do that while trying to come down to a match. I wasn't watching WWE during the Attitude Era. I was too young back then. Anyway, so he did that. He came out with his American Badass entrance, which was pretty good. And he was talking to Stephanie. And apparently we're going to have Stephanie McMahon inducted into the Hall of Fame 2026. So, yeah. I don't really have much to comment about that. I think she deserves it after being a part of the company for such a long time. Triple H got it last year. He definitely deserved it. He's one of my favorite wrestlers. Stephanie is getting it this year, and she was obviously emotional about it. And yeah, and they decided to announce that here at WrestlePalooza, and I think it was a good segment. Then we had, of course, Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre. Just a second here. Right. So Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre. This was actually, again, a pretty good match. Nothing much happens in this match either. There was no shenanigans really. It was a decent match. These two are actually some of the best wrestlers, in the company. I'm saying that for everybody, all of the wrestlers, right? But I'm saying that for all of the wrestlers, but WWE really does have some of the best talent in the world when it comes to wrestling, right? Drew McIntyre obviously wanted to kick Cody Rhodes' head into the announcer's table once again, but it didn't happen this time. Cody Rhodes moved out of the way, and Drew kind of hurt his knee, and I think they played off of that, and Cody Rhodes won the match. Yeah, that's it. I don't think anybody predicted Drew McIntyre to win this match. We all knew, obviously, Cody Rhodes is going to win it. I think Cody Rhodes is going to keep the title until WrestleMania. And yeah, I mean, what are you going to do about it, right? So, yeah, it was it worthy of main eventing this show? I think so, yeah. I would have been mad if the John Cena Brock Lesnar match was better. I would have been mad about it not main eventing, but because that match sucked so bad, I feel it's okay that this match actually main evented. And yeah, overall the show was kind of meh, maybe, I don't know. Just 5 matches. We could have probably had another match in there. You could have had that triple threat match that they announced for SmackDown. What are the names, man? I'm forgetting the names. Nia Jax versus Jade Cargill versus, who's the other one? Who's the champion? The champion. I'm forgetting her name. What is her name? Tiffany Stratton. We could have had Tiffany Stratton versus Nia versus Jade for this pay-per-view. I don't know why they decided not to have that. You could have had AJ Styles versus Dominic, but Triple H, he always prefers having 5 matches for the PLE. So yeah, but you were trying to market WrestlePalooza as a big event, one of those big shows like SummerSlam or WrestleMania. If that was what your intention was, you should have probably had more matches, right? At least like 6 or 7 matches on the show. I don't know how you tried to like plan and pull off the show like that with just 5 matches on the card. But anyway, it was okay. It was decent. I think the show, just I can't forget the Brock Lesnar beating John Cena. I think that alone killed the entire show for me. I think this show sucked because of just watching how bad that match was. The rest of the show was kind of like, at that point, I didn't really give a shit about what else was happening on the show, if you know what I mean. And even the LA Knight thing with the tag team match was kind of, it kind of sucked too. They could have done a lot more with that, but they didn't, and it sucked. So the entire show sucked, really. I think the really only good match was Io Sky versus Stephanie Vaquer. I think you should go ahead and, if you haven't watched that match, you should go ahead and watch that match in full. It was fantastic. I loved it. And yeah, I'm not really gonna look back at any of the other matches on this show. If I had to give it a rating, I don't know. Who am I to give it a rating, right? Since I am reviewing this show, I'll probably try and rate it. If I were to give it a rating out of 10, I think probably probably a 6, maybe less than that. 5.5. Yeah, 5.5, 6. I don't know. So guys, this is actually my first ever video on the channel. Actually, I mean, it's not technically, it's not my first ever video. I have uploaded a few shorts on this channel, and I have uploaded some music on the other channel and shit, but I'm talking about like a long format video with my face actually on the camera. This is the first video like that, and I hope you like it. And yeah, please consider subscribing, and you can expect a lot of videos about wrestling, I guess, about movies. I am planning to, review some movies on this channel. You can probably see a lot of gameplay in the future. I don't know. It's just I want to do a lot of things really with the YouTube channel. I haven't really made up my mind, but I know that wrestling will be a main part of it, and movies especially. I do make music, but that's on a different channel. I'll leave a link in the description to that channel. But anyway, yeah, wrestling, movies, and maybe some other sports, cricket maybe in the future at some point. I don't know, I'll think about it. Anyway, so that's it for this video. And like I said, this is my first ever video. Please like this video, and if you really like it, do share the video, and don't forget to subscribe. Comment down below what you thought about WrestlePalooza. Did you like the show? Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.